Hey guys, Brian here. Welcome back to the shop. Just got a quick little project here today. I'm actually got the mill running out there. Had to wait for the battery to charge up so I could shoot this. Show you what I got here. I'm making some step blocks, or just setup blocks for my mill. These are some used tractor parts that just happen to have the right hole spacing in them to line up with my table slots on the mill. I use these on my deck plate and that worked pretty good, so I'm making a couple more of them. And I've had these in the surface grinder and ground these sides down so that they are flat and parallel. And now I'm just putting them in the vise, using the vise jaws, hopefully to hold this square, and then just taking the mill and milling the top off of them. This one's already done. Mill's leaving a really nice finish on them. I'm not sure I'll even surface grind them since these are just for setup. There's nothing critical about the dimension on them or anything, as long as they're all the same. So my plan is to mill one side, and then I'll have that side square to these, at least based off the mill. And then I'll put them in the surface grinder and grind this other side to flat, and they ought to be square and parallel, pretty close anyway. Good enough for what they're going to be used for. So let's get a block in the mill and take a cut. Okay, so here we go. Running 12 inches a minute, eighth of an inch depth to cut. Let's lower off there. Okay, so here they all are in as milled condition. So left a real nice finish on them, and that let me get the vise off the mill. Got a rust job coming in that it's got to come off for, so I want to go ahead and get this done. And after I get this rust job done, I'll be able to put these in the surface grinder and finish getting them squared up. Of course, I'll put this side down since it's been milled square to this side based off the Kurt vise anyway. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this probably isn't showing up very well, or at least it doesn't look very good through my view screen, but I thought we'd check and see if it did have that milled surface square to the sides. And using this square here, just a carpenting square, it's actually as good as I've got. It's a pretty decent square, but anyway, it's not totally true because we're touching there at the bottom and there's just a little bit of a gap up the top. I'd say that might be 5/1000ths. But we are actually square, because if I come and check this other side, if it was out, should be out the same way. If it was leaned, but it is not out the same way. It's also at the bottom and narrow at the top. So that means one of two things. Is this block is ground tapered, or the square is not square. And I can tell you that the square is not square because this block is within 2/10 from just sitting it on the mag chuck and pulling it around underneath my indicator. So I know that the sides are parallel to one another anyway. So when we flip this over and grind the other end, we should have a pretty good square block. So these will be nice for being able to put parts on in the mill and have everything sitting good and flat. So, there they are. That's the milled side, and you can see this one here is not square. It's got a gap, even though it's actually touching. Got rock. So when we grind it, we should be able to see that coming off that one side on that block, the high side, and squaring these up. And when we get done, I ought to be able to take them and flip them both ways, and I'll not have any rock. I'll be good and square. So on to the grinder. Just thought I'd show you here. This is not just any old cast iron. This is a nodular iron. It's actually pretty hard stuff. You can see there that barely makes a mark in it, and that's pulling pretty good. So that little mill does a nice job. It reads a little lower going backwards. So this is the tenths indicator, and I feel confident that over this entire length we're within 2/10 probably. Even going forwards and backwards, I'm not getting more than a 5,000 or 5/10 variance over this 12 by 24 plate. So we're in good shape to grind. Okay, so we're over here at my Thompson Surface grinder. We've got the plate cleaned off. So we'll slide these blocks on here. Slide these on so that if there's any dirt or anything, it gets wiped off. Of course, I wiped them all down my hands. So, got them on there. So, move them in a little bit. Them all kind of lined up even. Turn the magnet on. And can't move them now. So take grab it now. Alright. Should be right there. Pump on. Spindle on. Get my travel set. Alright, should be in good shape. So this one, you can see it touching on this one side. That's going to be that one that was crooked before. Some in there hadn't quite cleaned up yet. All the rest of these look good. So there's another 2.5 thousandths. Alright, until it's sparking all the way to the end that time. So I'm not going to drop it any, I'm just going to let it feed back in and do a spark out, and these all be good. And you can see those iron filings standing up there because of the magnetism. Turn this on. I'm going to turn the chuck to demag, and that'll demagnetize these parts, and you'll be able to see that magnetism reversed out of it. There it goes. It alternates, reverses polarity until all the residual is gone. Yep, it should be now. You can see they're pretty good and flat because the magnetism's off. and they're still holding water. So got a metal and metal seal there. That's it's not too bad, especially considered that side's the actual milled side. So the mill did a good job of keeping everything flat, obviously, or the water would just run out. Because it won't take much. It's barely cracked. Oh, all gone. What I didn't do apparently was film any of that. So let's try this again. What we've got here is the milled side, and just running it around there. You go anywhere from about 3 below to 3 above. And just show how sensitive a 1/10 is, it actually picks up that paint mark going over that. The paint mark adds at least a 1/10. So pretty good for a milled finish, I'd say. For that to be within, you know, like 5/10. Let's do a straight line here. Let's get started. So we're 1 above. About 3, so 4 or 5/10 I'd say on that side is probably pretty legitimate. And that's the milled side. So let's flip this over. And this is the ground side. You can see how little variance we've got on that side. The indicator is pretty much showing between 2 and 4, anywhere across there. So I'm pretty happy with that for just a roughed in block, milled and ground, and we're within pretty much 2/10 on this side, 5/10 on the other side. Over this is 6 plus, and see my hand's 8 inches. So it's 8 inches total end to end, probably 6 or so on this milled side, or on this ground side. So this is pretty good flat block. I mean, we could probably get that down better, but it's really not too bad. There's a little give in this Noga apparently, because my readings vary depending on which way I push the block. You know, this way I stay under 4, and then as soon as I start pushing back the other way, it goes up a little bit. So I guess to be accurate, we'd have to say, alright, so we started this way, so we're on 2. So 2,000, or let's go over here. We're on 2. Yeah. Okay, so there it is, guys. The old Thompson grinder. Probably from the 1940s. Maybe the same age as my Ames indicator. So, give you another look on the block. It's the ground finish. And again, that's the milled finish. Looks pretty good too, which I guess it should, if it's within 5/10 over an 8-inch length. That's pretty good, I think, for the old mill mowing through that. We were at 12 inches a minute cutting speed, and 125 depth of cut. One pass is all it did, and that really surprised me that it's that close. So I guess that's why when they sell those angle blocks and stuff on eBay that are just within, you know, a couple of 5/1000ths or half thousandths that they guarantee the accuracy, that's probably pretty believable, I guess. So one thing about this grinder I like is it's got a automatic lube system for everything. The bed, the slides, it's all pressure lubed. So that kind of makes it like my Monarch, keeps everything all nice and oiled up, reduces the wear, and that's how we're able to hold decent accuracy on this thing, chase the tenths, which can be a lot of fun. So maybe sometime we'll do a block in here and try and get it down, you know, less than a tenth. I mean, we did 2/10 pretty quick, not even dressing the wheel, besides when I started this project. So I think we could definitely do better, but this is plenty good enough for some setup blocks. You know, we're well under a half thousandth, so that's good enough for this job. Thanks for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it. It's my first time doing this surface grinder in a video, so I know it's jealous of the other machines getting in there, so I figured I'd get over here and shoot some video on it today and get this project done. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.